Where's my lair? I've earned a good lair. Where is it? We're fighting the terrible bosses from... Not terrible as in like low quality, but terrible, you know what I mean. It's like the Demon Trident entry. Yeah, usually around 20 levels and pretty good int. Just, no, why would I have him excluded? Because then people can see what the output is. Otherwise it'd be kind of confusing because part of the reason why I have the overlays for like making videos, because they can't see you know, they can't see Twitch chat, and so, well, they couldn't if I didn't have it. So you would want them to see anything that they would see if they were watching Twitch. But also people have the chat overlay so they can like see the delay and stuff and know what you're reacting to, and apparently tab into a two-headed ogre. Well, I mean, I have played, I have a really, I still haven't upgraded my weapon. I'm looking for, I mean, honestly, well, short sword of draining is not really going to do it. I could try to berserk this guy. It's dangerous. They do hit so hard and I have such a crappy weapon. I don't really want to try go. Yeah, I can't go like bloodless. It costs 5 turns. I can try to trust in berserk. It would really make sense to use some of this Karare. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the good stuff. And now since he's slow, okay, that worked. Timing of that's always tricky. A Karare bearing. The game is won. It's GG. Wrap it up. Oh, I think we may have found lair. I have that lair feeling. I have a really crappy weapon, so you kind of have to be a little bit careful with some of this. There's that Logitong. Honestly, it's like, I promise I have 12 long blades. Okay, maybe I was wrong about lair. That was just yaks. Trog, if you want to gift me a sword, that would be fine. I'd be okay with that. I really wouldn't have any problem with you doing that at all. This valuable testing that I'm doing of what about VP of Trog? I mean, I guess it is a thing that you, well, you could do it before, right? Because you could just quaff blood, and it was probably exceedingly difficult because of the whole nutrition thing and losing blood. So now it's actually something you can do, but anything of Trog is kind of fundamentally only okay, did we find it? Looks like we found Orc before we found Lair. Or maybe we just found a bunch of, ooh, glowing boots though. Oh no, I already enchanted these. Oh. I was robbed. Yeah, books are weighted by the depth in that book drops are, so you're more likely to find quote unquote higher quality books the deeper you are. It's like the level of the spell. I think that's no, that also applies to non-Randart books. So books like the Book of, what is it? The Book of Tempests and Book of Earth has Shatter, doesn't it? It does. So you're more likely to find those the deeper you go, but what that actual weighting is I guess it is fairly significant now. There was a bug for years and years and years where that was being ignored, and the books were dropping at basically a flat rate as you went deeper, but that finally got fixed. Okay, I have to go get one of my free beer that I was given, and I have to start drinking it now because the stream can't go on for much longer. And of course people are giving me free beer because I'm popular and cool and people just want to give you free beer. But I have to drink it, otherwise I won't even have time to drink any of my free beer tonight. So let me go open that up and I'll be right back. For free Chinese food, what an interesting comparison. It's either beer or Chinese food. Those are your options. Choose wisely. Okay, now this is for real layer. Probably died to this berserk. Yeah, a lot of people are not big into alcohol, you know. I actually don't buy... Oh no, Snorg. Snorg is kind of scary at this depth, and if I berserk Snorg, I have a real chance of having a problem. Because this is a bit early, although it's not actually that early because this is kind of a late layer. What I can do is summon a bro. I can fail to use my ability. Okay, we can take him down. Oh my god. That's not unusually strong. Boom. Yep, that seemed like the safest move. Oh no. Oh no. No! Don't! Do I have cancellation? I am become the tree. I'll do it too, I'll become a tree. I'll probably be okay because this doesn't last that long, but I should have used Trog's hand. What the hell was I thinking? Well, it all worked out. Powerful optimal play. Dev tools finely attuned to the subtleties of the dungeon. Oh no. Not you. Oh, there's no webcam, Worms. You can't prove anything. It's all hearsay. This Corona Extra that I'm reportedly drinking, yeah, you mean it might not actually exist. Yeah, I mean my weapon was really crap, and unfortunately I had to move around it. I really positioned it very stupidly. I should have perceived that that was going to be the way that that positioning would work, but it did work out okay. But Berserk ran out basically because I'm an idiot, but that's all right. Oh, it's the Rough. He's still rocking his subscription. Thank you very much for that continued support, Rufford. It's uppercase P, I think. No, it should still be there for sure. It's definitely still an emote. I hope it's still an emote. Huh. Why is it not showing up? It should be uppercase P, uppercase C, Worms. Oh, I don't know why it's not complete. Yeah, there it goes. What beer does Trog approve of? That's a good question. Because, yeah, I mean, the original emote is uppercase P, uppercase C as well. Vodka. Trog does not dilute his... He likes hard liquor and does not dilute it with ice, ever. Oh, yeah, that could be due to... It should show those. I might need to go check. Let me check at that really quick. That's a setting for the chat overlay, and it could be a temporary thing where it's doing that, but that's one of the options, is that it allows FFC and better Twitch TV emotes, and that is enabled by default. So oh my gosh, no, I don't want pop-ups. I got it, yes. Didn't even take me where I want to go. No, I don't want a quick tutorial. Yeah, I have it enabled. Enable better TTV emotes and Frankerface emotes. And yeah, that's enabled by default. So that's interesting. Wonder why that is. Try a refresh. Probably not going to matter, but... Oops, no. No. Let's see. Restart browser. Now I guess we gotta chat in chat. Does that show up? There it goes. Huh. Don't know. Maybe it just needed a refresh. But we're back. Yeah, like Geeky said, it could be a cache issue. I'm in the process of replacing the hard drive on this machine because the hard drive is not in good shape. And actually, to reinstall this on my streaming laptop, I had to restore from backup. It could be due to some caching. Well, it could still be due to caching, actually. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out, though, because I'm not sure why it decided to not work. It is now fixed, and now we can all watch me die to Erolka, which is what we wanted to see in the first place. Oh, you are a bad... Ebearing, fix it. Fix your game, Ebearing. It's broken. Okay. It's broken. That does not happen to me. That's bad RNG. Unfair RNG. It's a broken game. It's literally unplayable. Oh my god. Yeah, you know, Worms, I did want to. I wanted to, okay? I was going to the next turn. And that one turn, I didn't. Oh, but then the exit. Okay, she probably has other crap. Dev tools. It's the art that you know. You give dev tools to your average person, they wouldn't know what to do with them. Only in the hand of a master dev do the dev tools come alive, and does the magic happen. Yeah, you go invisible. Why don't you do that? With your banishment, 1% with Trog's hand. Oh, I can't even use... I'm just gonna ice blast you. Because I don't like you. You're a bad and smelly ogre. We gotta... I feel like I've gotten abyssed a lot recently. It's not a trend that I like, to be quite honest. I lost a... Oh, apparently I'm going to lose to a pack of whites. I lost a game recently to the Abyss. It wasn't really on streak, but I did lose a game there. Oh, and now this. Oh, she doesn't blink. So a simple berserk should theoretically... Oh my god. It's like my weapon is such garbage right now. Really should have gone without Logitong, but I had 9 long blades, but that's such a better weapon. It's like, seriously, I should have just done it. Like, what the heck? What was I even thinking? I think you can just do banished. Now, obviously this one won't show up because this is me playing on my Amazon instance, but I definitely died in the Abyss recently. It was a possibly avoidable one. Yeah, that one. It was pretty bad, but possibly I could have survived. I think it's been a while, so I don't quite remember the oh, what is this? Slimy helmet. Here we go. Is this the win helmet? Guarantees the win. Well, I mean, it's a helmet. It's not the instant win button helmet, but ugh, Vanar. Vanar, whose heart is even colder than this refreshing Corona Extra that I'm drinking right now. Banishment is one of Rufford's favorite. Rufford likes to see people suffer. That's why he likes mummies. He likes suffering. Here to keep my drink frosty, right? He will supply the ice cubes. I don't... Fenrir has blink, doesn't he? Yeah. He also ducks behind his ice beast, and I also don't have any... Well, I guess I could go bloodless and get RC++, but that poses other issues. Stays as cold as ice cubes. Yeah, the Abyss is a sort of an interesting marriage of kind of like, you know, thematically it's very cool, and the way it functions is the way the actual level functions is the problem. The idea, the kind of core idea of it, it's kind of compelling. It's just the reality of it is so annoying, because fighting in the Abyss is kind of not very fun, unfortunately. It's definitely one of the more unique things to come out of Crawl. I just wish it were much better in how it worked. I really need to get my dedicated end of stream song back. Well, Rufford, it's just like what you do in the Abyss is like you run in a specific direction to try to escape, and the terrain makes it so that fighting in it is just so onerous and annoying and not really very tactical, because you really have no control or way to predict what's going to happen to terrain. There's obviously good general strategies, but it's like the terrain is probably the worst part. It's probably got a few different problems, honestly. It's very cool thematically and an interesting sort of like idea. It probably just needs to be less like total crazy chaos and more like focused. There's probably like different ways you could improve it that would be not throwing out, you know, the entire thing. That, you know, there's a different, I could imagine a different number of ways of like addressing it that tried to fix it to different degrees. You know, you could fix it like to the utmost degree by replacing it with something like making banishment just send you deeper into the dungeon and not having this weird layout, but that loses most of the theme. And there's other stuff you could do. It's kind of a tricky problem, honestly, because people don't really want to remove it since it is a pretty distinctive aspect. But a lot of people who play the game a long time really come to like hate interacting with it because of just how silly it is. Yeah, Hieropants, by doing that you generate new sections more frequently and hence generate more exits. So you want to move in a consistent direction. I think Minmay said you want to actually move specifically to like the southeast. I don't know why that direction in particular, but in general the way it works is that it's a normal like 70 by 80 map, But and it gets generated as you move close to the edge of the map, though, since it's trying to be an infinite level, it actually shifts you back over closer to the center, and then regenerates or generates new areas around you, like preserving the vaults that you were near, and then so that way it looks like it's infinite. And so it just generates some new sections off to the right of where you were, kind of shifting the current area where you were over, retaining most of it, and then generating new areas so that you never actually hit the edge. So if you go in a consistent direction, you go the shortest path to generate new areas, and hence you increase the chance that you're going to generate an exit or a down staircase. Yeah, you do already have shaft traps, but banishment could send you to like a different branch, for example, something a shaft can't do. It just would be a much different, flavor, and that would also come with some of its own issues too. It's not a small problem. Yeah, that's been something that people have sort of posted. Checkers, who's CPO admin, kind of posted a mini rework that was kind of like that, making it, well, it was a little bit different. It was making it easier earlier on when you get banished by making the monster set much less bad, and then kind of scaling it up later to make it like a bit worse. But if it's just like a really wacky, not that hard version of with this crazy layout, I'm not sure that that's actually a great design. If it's just like sends you to this bizarro layout where the monsters are a bit harder, but not as hard as they are right now, because right now you can run into like Hell Sentinels and very fast monsters that are just super dangerous, where the only option is to like immediately teleport or blink or haste run or whatever. And if you change that, then you would just have this really derpy layout to deal with, and presumably somewhat difficult but relatively normal monsters. So I'm not sure that that would actually even be a good route. But yeah, it's a tricky kind of problem to solve, and I don't think anybody would want to solve it by just something really crude. They'd want to do something nice, I guess. Well, friendlies are their own kind of set of issues that come with that. You could get kind of creative and try to think of ways to like keep the basic threat of like these impossibly out of depth things, but then have a way to mitigate it. But allies and crawl is something that there's so much of, and people don't really want to add too much more of it, if possible, because there's already a lot of it in the game. But yeah, you could get creative in that general idea, combining a few different things. I don't think it's a huge priority. I'm just ranting about it. It happens a lot that people who play the game a lot rant about the Abyss and how wacky it is. Only when some really good idea comes along would we actually, I think, change it, because there are other priorities that are a lot bigger for fixing, like most of Extended for one, and just other stuff in general. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here, guys. It's getting pretty late, and I do have to work tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to my pretty poverty stream. Difficult to get going. Do check out this branch. You can play it on CKO, the two-state vampire branch. I haven't really shown you too much of it, unfortunately, because I sort of did that one character that took a while to get going, and then I killed him, and then all I did here was get to lair and find Fanar. Wow, he has a nice tile. He looks like the Lich King out of World of Warcraft or something. But I will be streaming again, hopefully. I don't know if I'll get to do it this week, but I will perhaps try. I want to set aside an evening to do some crawl dev stuff too, but it would be good to get somewhere a little bit more meaningfully far in the game with this branch, rather than just layer, like, just get through a rune or two so we can try out the changes, both the vampire stuff and the throwing changes. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I'll see you all later.